Hey people, it's Sunday, November the 1st. It is 2:08 in the afternoon. And I'm just walking along the Esplanade right now. But I will be turning north once we get to Church Street. And then from there, I'll begin a somewhat meandering tour through the east side of downtown. I'll be hitting sections of most of the major north-south streets, such as Church, Jarvis, and Sherbourne. It's a blustery fall day today. The wind was blowing something fierce a little while ago. Seems to have died down right now. And on my way down here, I got caught in a brief hailstorm. And when I hastily got my camera up to try to record it, the hail stopped basically after about a minute. But I'm prepared if another hailstorm suddenly appears. I will get that one for sure. So now we're just turning onto Church Street and we'll be heading north a little ways. This is a beautiful old stretch of buildings along this southern end of Church Street. And I pointed this out before, but it's been a while, so I just like to show you this. This is an original Banksy, the famous street graffiti artist. And you can see they put a frame around it with a plexiglass protector by the looks of it. That's the only remaining original Banksy in the city that is in its original location. All the other Banksies around town were taken away or removed or brought somewhere else. So that is the only one left. Until he comes here and makes some more, I guess. There's another interesting thing just right up ahead that I failed to point out last time I did a walk through this area. I just walked right by it without even thinking of it. And it's this right here. This depicts the original shoreline of Lake Ontario. Because as you may know, Lake Ontario originally ran right up to just right south of Front Street, which is just the next street right up ahead here. And all this land south of here was filled in. It was not originally here. For 10,000 years, this was the location of Lake Ontario's shoreline. I thought that was pretty cool. Here we are at the intersection of Church and Front. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Jarvis Street. This is the Flatiron Building, also known as the Gooderham Building, which is a Toronto landmark. And you can see the CN Tower and some of the office towers of the financial district. So this is the St. Lawrence neighborhood we're in right now. It's a very desirable downtown neighborhood. Lots of historic buildings, nice apartments and condominiums, a mix of old and new, done just right in my opinion. It's also very busy with tourists during tourist season, which we didn't have one of which this year. Hopefully next year. Here we have the St. Lawrence Market. Looking down Market Street. Across the street they're constructing a new north building for St. Lawrence Market. This one is among the oldest and most iconic buildings in the city. And we'll cross here. But head up Jarvis Street. A nice shot looking towards the Flatiron Building. I'm going to try not to walk underneath this hoarding as much as I can, so we can get a better look at the buildings along the street here. When I left, I looked at the temperature. It said it was 8 degrees, and I thought, well, that's not so bad. But it certainly feels a lot colder than that with this wind. And once again, I'm regretting not bringing gloves. Crossing King Street, looking east and west towards the financial district. We'll continue up Jarvis, but I just thought I'd cut through St. James Park, which recently underwent a lengthy upgrading and looks really nice now. I mean, it was nice before, but now it's even nicer. It's probably one of my favorite downtown parks. Feels like a true big city park. It's a little on the small side, but it has the right look, has the right feel. Has some beautiful surroundings and many pigeons. Alright, now we're back on Jarvis, crossing Adelaide Street. I think we got a police car coming. There are a couple of police cars actually. They're certainly in a big hurry to get somewhere. And it looks like they're coming right here. Did somebody call the cops on me? It's like they're looking for somebody, the way they dipped into that gas station parking lot there. Well, I don't know. Now they're just sitting there. Well, I'll give it another half minute, see if anything interesting happens. Well, now they're taking off again. Well, I have no idea what just happened, but it was fairly exciting compared to what usually happens during most of my walks, which is usually not much. Now it sounds like they're down there. Now we got the fire department. What the heck happened? Crossing Queen Street. And this here is the Moss Park Armory, which is located in Moss Park, which is both a park and a neighborhood. You can see some military vehicles. If you go back 5 years, none of these buildings you see here existed at that time, save for one. I believe one of them was completed, but if you go back just a few years before that, that one was not there either. Okay, how am I going to get around this? My shoes are not waterproof. The guy's like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm quite obviously avoiding this giant puddle is what I'm doing. And here they're constructing a new 30-story hotel. Got some nice old brownstone style row houses. This is interesting. This building used to be the RCMP headquarters in the city, and then it was later converted into a hotel called the Grand. And as you can see now, it is being demolished, and is to be replaced with a new building that will be taller than that one, and another building that will be around the same size. Get a look at this side. I'd say Toronto is one of the few cities where they tear down still rather nice, not very old high-rises in order to replace them with newer, taller high-rises. I quite like this building, actually. We'll see if the replacements are anywhere near as nice. Somehow I don't think it will be. Alright, we just turned onto Dundas Street, heading east. This intersection has become a bit of a wind tunnel. We'll follow these 50-story buildings on each corner. And there is an iconic local neighborhood landmark, Fillmore's Hotel and Strip Club, which is closed now due to restrictions. They always have humorous signage there on their marquee. There's an old school pizzeria that, despite its appearance, actually has surprisingly good reviews if you look online. And I tried it once and I thought it was alright. I mean, when it comes to pizza, I'm not all that picky. Still see lots of cop cars driving around. Seems like they're looking for somebody. And here we are at Dundas and Sherbourne, which is probably one of the top 3 most infamous intersections in the city. And that convenience store is quite an interesting place to go in late at night. So we're going to walk north along Sherbourne Street for a little ways. Dundas Street up ahead leads into Regent Park. Those towers up ahead there are part of the Regent Park development. So now we're walking along the infamous Sherbourne Street, which is regarded by most Torontonians as one of the more sketchy streets in the city. Although, it doesn't seem so sketchy right now looking at it, does it? But things do happen. I live close by, and I see on the news various incidents that take place around here with enough regularity to sort of confirm the reputation. Some beautiful old houses along here, though. And just up ahead there's a very interesting house, which I will point out. I don't think I passed it already, or did I? Oh no, I think I did. Is it gone? The Kenny versus Spenny house from that crazy TV show. Was it right here? I think it's gone. It was either right here or it's the next house over, but that doesn't look like it to me. Okay. I'm confused now because I could have sworn it was right around here. You know what? I shot an old video a couple years ago where I walked by it and pointed out the Kenny versus Spenny house. I'll have to go back and look at that. In any case, this is Kenny versus Spenny's block from the show, and they lived right around there. And all the crazy things that used to happen on that show, most of them took place inside that house. Maybe that's why they tore it down. Who would want to live in there after all the weird, gross things they did inside there, right? Just crossing Gerrard Street. This is Allen Gardens. This park is the location of the Allen Gardens Conservatory, which is just on the other side. Which is a neat place to go in, especially in the winter. You walk in and it feels like you're in a tropical paradise. There you can see the conservatory, the big dome. Poor hand feels like it's about to break off. Well, to make up for my inability to pinpoint the Kenny versus Spenny house, I will pinpoint another TV show residence that you may be familiar with, which I know for certain is this apartment building right here, which on the TV show Kim's Convenience is where Jung and Kimchee live, Janet's brother and his best friend. This is the building they live in on the show. It's on Carlton Street, which we just are heading west on right now. I'm not sure which balcony is supposed to be theirs, but I know they live on an upper floor. So, you know, probably within the top 4 or 5 floors, I think. This place, the Little B supermarket, it's very close to where I live, but I never go there, and I always mean to. I always end up going to the big chain grocery stores, since they're just so convenient and also close by. So this is basically my neighborhood we're walking through. I live on the other side of Allen Gardens. There you can see the conservatory, get a side view. Here we are back at Jarvis Street. Let's head north a little ways on Jarvis. Another one of my favorite old row house collections here in the city. I like how they're all distinct from one another. And covered with ivy in sections. I don't know what they're like on the inside, but I imagine them as being very nice, and I would gladly live in one. And Jarvis Street used to be one of the most prestigious streets in the city. It was a street of the wealthy in the late 18th century. And there are still a number of beautiful old mansions from that era. Most of which have been converted to other uses now, or incorporated into new developments, such as this one. And many of them were torn down and replaced by things like this, which is somewhat of a travesty. But here you can see one that thankfully escaped the wrecking ball. Can only imagine what used to be here and was replaced by a parking lot for this apartment building. There's the Blake House. Now these apartment buildings I don't mind one bit. I don't know if they replace some mansions that once stood here, but if that's the case, at least these buildings are beautiful and have architectural value. these ones less so, but they still beat that ugly slab apartment I showed a few minutes ago. And now we're walking by Jarvis Collegiate Institute, founded in 1807. Although I don't think this building dates from 1807, but the actual school does. So this building was completed in 1924, so it's quite old. Has that classic inner city urban high school look to it. It's crossing Wellesley Street. And this is probably the most well-known of the old mansions along Jarvis Street, which is now a keg restaurant. So everyone just refers to it as the Keg Mansion. It's a shame this large parking lot is in front of it. Kind of takes away a bit from its majesty. I wonder how much it would cost to just lift the building up and move it right here to the sidewalk and then put the parking in back. They've done that with plenty of other old buildings in the city. Large mansions such as that have been literally picked up and moved. Guy's not too happy about something. I don't know which way to go now. I suppose I'll walk this way. I'll just walk down to church and I'll end the video once we get to Church Street. I think this is Gloucester Street. I didn't really notice, but I believe it is. And here we are at Church Street. So we started the video on Church Street and we're ending the video on Church Street. Except instead of walking north, we're now walking south. This, of course, is the Church-Wellesley village. And if you're wondering what that is, maybe this street sign will clue you in. Anvil Alley. Wonder if that has anything to do with the Toronto metal band Anvil, which is featured in an excellent documentary called Anvil, The Story of Anvil. I highly recommend it. Alright, so here we are at Church in Wellesley. So I'm going to wrap up the video. So I hope you enjoyed this meandering walk around the east side of downtown. Got to see some exciting police action, which I still don't know what it was all about. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, tell your friends. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I've been posting daily lately, but I try to post at least every other day. And keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.